Welcome back to another episode of the Pink Standard Pod. As you can tell, we're not on the couch anymore. We are in 30A, Florida. This is your host, Lydia, and sadly, Eliana is not with me. I wish she could have been on this trip with me. It would have been so much fun. I'm actually here with my in-laws. It's kind of like a little annual, this is our second annual trip we've started. So every Thanksgiving we'll come down here for the week. And I thought, what better time than to introduce to you guys my husband, the Jacob Teichmeyer, aka Coach T, aka T. I think those are all the names he has. Jake, Jakey, all of the above. He's staring at me right now, but now's his time to come join the shot. He's nervous. So I want you guys from across the phone to give him a big Pink Standard Pod welcome.
Thank you.
Woo!
Thank you. I don't know how pink and standard, I don't know if I can fit the standard, but
Hold on, you gotta scoot back.
Oh.
Sorry.
Hey, look, check out this view. It's beautiful.
I know. Look. The ocean. We got the sun behind us. We wanted you guys to have an ocean view.
It's golden out.
So we put the ocean behind us, but sorry if it's a little bright with the sun. Are you in the shot enough?
Oh yeah. Yeah, they
Okay.
see what they need to see.
This is him in the flesh.
Yep. The infamous Coach T.
You might want to speak up. Project.
Yeah, infamous Coach T.
Eliana is,
Shout out to my middle school peeps out there if you're listening.
I know. He's a middle school teacher, you guys. And the stories he comes home and tells me are insane. I swear, like, first responders, nurses, and teachers have the craziest day-to-day lives.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You show up, you never know what's gonna happen, so you just go with it and roll with whatever comes and try to have a smile on your face.
Do you get the Sunday scaries?
No.
You have no Sunday scaries?
No, especially in PE. Now, like, if I was teaching math or something, maybe I would, but PE is not as bad. You kind of show up and get ready to roll. I know, I need to use my gym voice. I'm used to teaching. We teach with microphones, so I don't have to yell very loud, but I'll get better.
Yeah.
But no Sunday scaries.
Yeah, I feel like it's definitely because you're a PE teacher. Like, you literally play...
No, that's a misconception.
He plays dodgeball for a living, you guys.
That's a lie. We do our best to just give them opportunities to grow in their fitness and learn about being healthy, but also we like to have fun. Like, you gotta have PE. If you're in PE class, you gotta have fun.
Yeah, I loved PE growing up. PE, English, and history. I feel like you're either a English history mind or like a science math mind, and I'm definitely an English history mind.
Yeah, I don't know what mind I am.
A PE mind?
Yeah,
a PE and lunch mind?
Yeah. Recess, dude. I was that dude at recess putting up like 8 tutties and
What is a tutty?
touchdown.
Oh.
8 touchdowns, probably 3 picks.
All right.
Couple mean words to an ex-former teammate or something. But
Yikes.
that was back in the day.
We all know those kind of guys.
They get first in line, the water fountain, take like 30 seconds.
Yeah, like slurp the water.
Yeah.
Jake, do you know how we start this podcast off usually? What's our first bit?
I have no clue.
You guys,
I haven't listened to this.
Jake has not listened to a single episode. Is that a red flag for our relationship? Should I be questioning this marriage?
No, I tried playing it like when we're in the car and she yells at me to shut it off, so I don't know what I'm supposed to do.
He is the one person I get self-conscious about, like, my voice and how I'm presenting myself in front of. So I cannot listen to it with him if I'm in the room. It's kind of funny, but
I'll start listening. Now that I'm on, it gives me a reason to listen.
He's gonna listen to this episode
Yeah,
and this episode only. But on the Pink Standard Pod, we start with our licks and icks. Do you know what a lick and an ick is, Jake?
No.
A lick is something that you find appealing, attractive, that it just makes you feel good, like you appreciate when someone does a certain thing.
Like in a girl or just?
In a girl, mostly like
general?
in a girl, but also could be in general, could apply to both girl and guy.
Because like my first mind, like a lick is like man hitting a great front squat. You know, like getting good depth and having great form on a. Or are you talking like relationship?
I'm talking like in another person, something that they can do that you like or appreciate.
My PE mind's tracking. I got it.
And an ick is something that kind of like gives you that instant repulse, just like sends chills down your spine. You're like, oh, please never do that again. That's an ick. Do you want me to go first?
Yeah.
Okay, you think about yours.
Get it started. An ick or lick? Lick.
I'm gonna start with my ick.
Okay.
Because I was having a discussion with his brother, my brother-in-law, and I gave him my phone. This was the situation. I gave him my phone to look at a singular photo, and the man starts scrolling through my camera roll. And if you are a girl, I don't know about you, but I think most girls know, like, our camera rolls are sacred. They have our deepest, darkest secrets in them. They are our diary. They're like you can see into our minds when you're in our camera roll. And I also just have like 50 bajillion selfies in a row, so it's kind of embarrassing. But from that situation, I realized one of my icks is when people are phone scrollers. Like, to me, if you're on someone else's phone, like, you don't have the permission to just start scrolling through their camera roll. Like, that is such an ick to me. If I see someone start doing that, I'm like immediately like reaching for my phone back. It's not that I have like anything crazy to hide. It's just like I forget sometimes, like, the embarrassing photos or like the screenshots of, like, I don't know. It's just like you never know what someone's gonna happen upon.
Yeah, a lot of selfies.
Are you a scroller?
No, I like to scroll my own camera roll. I don't really like to scroll anyone else's, but I don't really have a lot in mind. It's all it is pretty much pictures of my dogs, pictures of my family, and that's about it. A few basketball plays here or there. That's about it.
You can tell a lot about a person by their camera roll. Sometimes I'll look over and Jake will be like knee deep in my camera roll, and I'm like, what are you doing? But he's my husband, so I guess
it's selfies. There's
a lot of
100 selfies. It's all these pictures of the day, and I'm like, Mike, like,
we thought selfies died in 2018.
Yeah, it's rough.
But that's my ick. Do you have an ick?
My ick, I don't even know what you call it, but it's when girls are taking pictures and they do like a fake laugh, like, okay, like everybody turn and laugh, and like, just take a normal picture. If you're happy, laugh. If you're not, just smile. Like, there's all this, they put out these fake images that you're having fun when you're really just faking it. It's like, if you're really having fun, it should be natural, but don't say, okay, everybody turn and smile and laugh. Like, just take a stinking picture. It's not that hard.
Talk a little louder.
Yeah.
That's so true. You saying that reminds me of, like, when you're at a brunch with a group of people and they're like starting their story and they're gonna scroll on the whole table, and as the camera comes to you, you have to like lift up your coffee or like do a little smile, you know what I mean? Like, it's so staged.
And every time there's something like that, I just give a menace look or something. I just kind of give them a little fake half smile or give them a little mean mugging. I don't do any of that. What's that thing called on Instagram? Boomerangs? Yeah, I don't do boomerangs. Boomerangs. Those are too candid. If you're using a boomerang, you're stuck in 2021.
If you're using a boomerang, you're trying to artificially make something happen that's not actually happening. Some emotion happen.
Yeah, but what are those called? Candid pictures?
Yeah, where the girls are like, oh, like, look at each other and smile and like. But see, okay, that's funny. That's the ick for you, because I do that all the time.
Yeah, it is an ick. You and your friends do it all the time. It's just weird. Like, I'm standing there like, what is going on in their minds? But
I don't know. Do it for the gram.
To each their own, right?
Okay, I'm gonna think about my lick on the fly, because I didn't think of it coming into this, but I think my lick is, okay, I thought about this actually yesterday on the beach. My lick is when people aren't afraid to get sandy. You know, the people that are like, I hate sand. Sand gets everywhere. Like, it's in my car, it's in my sheets, it's in my shoes, it's between my toes. Like, and the people that just hate to come on the beach or like wear their socks on the beach. Like, or wear their shoes on the beach. Jake has his Hey Dudes on the beach. Like, that to me. Oh wait, I turned a lick into an ick. Okay, so my lick is like the opposite of that. Like, people that aren't afraid to get sandy. They love the beach. They love the ocean. They're not afraid to go in the ocean. People that can just come to the beach, enjoy it to the fullest, and have a good time.
It's good. It's really good.
Do you like the sand?
Yeah, it's all right. It doesn't bother me. I'm not infatuated with it, but I like it. I like to bury myself.
I will say though, I was laying in our bed last night and I swear, like, I don't know if it was in my mind, but I felt like there was 100 sand grains just in our bed.
It's probably from you.
Probably.
I don't know. A lick.
What's something I do that you love?
Nothing. No, I'm kidding.
You gotta be
I love
nice
you.
to me, at least on the podcast.
I'm kidding. A lick. Something that you do.
Yeah.
I love that you like to lift. That's a good quality thing.
It's like working out,
like,
fitness.
But not just like, oh, I'm gonna run on the cardio for 20 minutes and then get off the treadmill. Like, you actually love to, you know, throw around some heavy weight with the boys.
Yeah, you've taught me that though.
If I can give you another lick, I'll give you a better one.
Project.
I'll give you a better lick. Gosh, it's taking a while.
That can be a lick. Your fitness, like people that
Yeah,
care
I like
about
you take
fitness.
care of your body, you take care of your mind and your emotional, mental health.
Yeah.
I like when you wear dresses. That's a lick.
Dresses?
Yeah.
Wait, long
Like the one,
dresses?
like the one you wore last night.
Like
I don't know what that is.
skin tight dresses.
No.
That's what it was.
Yeah, just I like the strap things here.
Spaghetti strap.
Yep. Strap things there, and then just dresses.
All right. Dresses
All
for
one
Jake.
color. All one color. None of this stuff where it's multicolor, like lines or stripes. Just like all black, all white.
Would you say you like simple styles on girls? Like you like when a girl's like very clean cut, like simple color, monochromatic clothing, like.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, no discrimination against like lines or stripes on a dress. It's just not my cup of tea, you know.
Yeah. Okay. Noted.
Speaking of tea, how do you like the coffee down here? What do you think?
Coffee's good. It's
A little different, but like tea.
Yeah, we don't have a coffee maker in our condo.
She's addicted.
I'm straight up addicted, you guys. I wake up and I go straight to the coffee machine. So to me, like the first thought that enters my mind in the morning is like, okay, where's my coffee source gonna come from?
She didn't have coffee yesterday morning for about 2 hours, and she was grumpy.
I was in
Like
a
we were
bad
we were
mood.
walking on the beach, and she goes, I'm mad at you. I'm mad at you. I was like, what? I didn't do anything. I haven't said a single word to you today. Maybe that's why. But no, she's not too bad when she has her coffee, she's a lot better. So
Yeah.
if you have any coffee you want to drop off by the school, I'll take it
Yeah.
and give it to her so she's not mad at me in the mornings.
I'll take all the coffee donations. Do you feel like, how do you think our communication patterns are? Everyone loves to talk about, like, everyone's like, relationship communication. Like, that's the next word they associate with a good relationship is good communication. And we dated for, how long? 3.5 years before we got married?
If you count engagement.
Yeah, like
Okay, yeah.
like 3.5 years together before we got married. And we honestly started off kind of rough. We were not very good communicators with each other. And I think we've both come a long way. But I want to talk about different things we've learned along the way on like how to work through conflict together and how to communicate. And I think if you've been in a relationship, you can tell the moment like one like chippy response is being thrown. You can just tell when things are about to like go down, and you have two choices. Like one, to either keep that kind of like angsty, fighty feeling between you guys and like keep doing things that push you further and further apart in that moment and make the conflict escalate, or like by a very simple choice, you can completely turn that conflict around and like it won't even happen. You know what I mean? Where it's like
Yeah.
the waters are kind of starting to get rough, attitudes are starting to come up. How do you feel like you've grown in communicating with me?
Just realizing that you don't have to be right. Like being right doesn't really matter if it's gonna make people mad. And not even just with you, but in general. Like if I have an opinion that's gonna make everyone mad, and whether I think it's right or not, like I don't have to fight for it if it's not really that important. Like, oh, if this is how you do the dishes, if this is how you want me to do it, I can do it that way. Like it's not really that big of a deal. It's not worth it to argue over it, you know?
Yeah. So you're saying exerting your opinion is sometimes not worth it for just like the peace of a good relationship and to avoid a fight.
I mean, you got to be able to voice your opinions, but like sometimes people are just raised different. Like you were probably raised to do your dishes one way. I was raised to do it another way. So like, doesn't mean one of ours is right or wrong. It's just two different backgrounds coming together to join one. And it's like, well, let's figure it out together. Don't have to worry about being right all the time. It's like, okay, like doesn't matter if I'm right or wrong. I'm just not gonna try to argue a point just to win.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, there's those people that I feel like always have to just make sure their point's made.
Yeah.
At all costs.
Yeah.
And I think that's when it gets really hard.
And that's how I felt like when we started dating was we just had to argue to win a point. Like
Yeah.
if you whether in the end I'm right or wrong, all that matters is I had the final word in argument, you know. I think that's the furthest. I think we've grown a lot in that area.
Yeah, definitely.
Because it's not fun.
No.
Because you feel crappy afterwards, and it's like, if we could just not avoid it, but just talk through it in a calm, understanding manner, then you'll get to a peaceful resolution a lot quicker than being grumpy. But I'm a person that if I get in an argument, I'm good the next like 20 minutes.
Jake will do this thing where he will not apologize, but he'll just like go back to life as normal, and he'll like start treating you really kindly again, and like just literally act like the last 5 minutes never happened. And I've had to learn that like that is in a way his way of apologizing, is like putting it behind him and still treating me with love, even though we maybe were not getting along a couple minutes ago. And so where I have always been like, okay, I need like a concrete ownership and apology.
Well, you gotta realize I'm a PE teacher. My PE mind is, you know, maybe it's a little different.
Yeah,
right?
that's true.
I move on. It's like, okay, this is how I verbalize my apology, is just by like, hey, moving on, and I need to do better of saying sorry, and what can I do better?
No, but
She's
you do
holding me against my will.
No, you do a good job of like, you do a really good job of letting your ego go, I think. Because I was back to the situations where you're both fighting to be right in the situation. If you just continue going back and forth, fighting to be right, I would say 90% of the time you're still not, even if you think you won that argument, like you still don't get that satisfaction of feeling like you proved the other person wrong, because the other person's probably checked out, they're probably not listening, they're holding a grudge, like they're angry at you. So even in those situations, you never actually get the satisfaction of feeling like you won an argument. Like, I don't think there's any such thing in a relationship as winning an argument.
Well, and life's too short to hold a grudge against someone for 20 minutes, especially the people you love, you know?
Yeah.
Because some people don't get as much time as they would like with people, and they would take back 20 minutes in a heartbeat. And it's like seeing that, like, man, I really love this person. Whether your family, your brothers, your mom or dad, your wife, it doesn't matter, but it's like, okay, let's put this behind us and let's just start loving each other more, because you never know how much time you have left with the people around you.
Yeah, that's so true. But if people can learn to have conflict well, they're gonna have a happy marriage, a happy relationship. And I do think a lot of conflict is all about perspective, like what you were saying. Just
well, we were arguing the same point. Our biggest fights have been fantasy football. And it's because she didn't know what she was doing. It's okay, I explained to her. But we were both kind of like arguing the same thing, but we were just saying it in a different way, where we weren't on the same wavelength. And at the end, we're like, oh, we're arguing over something that doesn't matter in life. So that's the points where I'm saying, like, okay, does this really matter? Let's just move on from it. Like, I don't need to try to win this argument, because it's something that is not going to impact our life in 2 days.
Yeah,
Especially if she trades me Christian McCaffrey, then I'll be good.
Jake, you got to remember the audience you're talking to here.
Oh yeah,
This is the Pink Standard Pod. This is not Barstool.
I'm trying to bring
Fantasy.
some new listeners, bring in some new perspectives, you know?
Okay, I wanted to ask your opinion. Say there's a guy out there and there's a girl out there, and they both just formed a connection. They're in that talking stage. They're so excited to spend time with each other. They're really attracted to each other. They have so much fun together, and they're just really excited about where this thing's gonna go. What are some things that the girl in the situation could do that would make that situation go so wrong from a guy's perspective, or like immediate turn-offs in the like in the early dating talking stages? Like, what are things that you think girls do wrong?
I've turned that to like what I like,
Yeah.
what I think, instead of what they do wrong. Like
Sure.
what I think I like. So I think girls in the early stage, if they are just honest and pure about, hey, these are what their intentions are. Like, hey, I see a future with you. I want to date you to, pursue marriage down the line. That makes it 10 times easier.
But do you think like a guy would be like, whoa, hold up, like that's coming off way too strong?
Not if you say, hey, I'm gonna marry you, but if you're like, hey, I really like where this is going. I want to be with you. You're not just some boy I'm talking to and I like you for 2 weeks and I'm moving on. I have in the back of my mind, I have a plan B that I'm gonna go date this guy.
See, for me, that's like girls' fear. Is like guys need to do more of that.
That's what I'm saying. Both people need to just be out front and be like, hey, I really like you. I really want to pursue this. I'm all in, but not to a fact where, I'm going to marry you in 6 months. It's like, hey, I'm all in and I want to be with you. So let's jump all the way in, figure this out together. If it doesn't work out, we move on.
Yeah.
If it does work out, sweet,
Yeah.
I don't know. Also,
just like, I think admitting you like someone is actually so attractive.
Yeah.
Like, so many people are afraid and they're like trying to play these games and play hard to get. And it's like, just like being able to look at each other and be like, hey, and I remember us doing this and it was like just so nice to know that we were on the same page. You were like, hey, like, I think you literally said to me, you're like, I want you to know that I really like you. And I was like, yeah, like I like you too. And it was like very early on and we were just kind of constantly reaffirming each other that like, we like where this is going.
Because some people, they talk for 2 weeks, they have good connections, and then a week later they're not talking anymore, and it's like, boy or girl is like, I kind of didn't really, I was in more for like the fling of it.
Yeah.
Like if you want to be in a fling, just like say, hey, let's just hang out for a couple weeks, and I just want someone to hang out with. I don't really see this going on long term. Like, say that, and that way the boy and girl both know, like, hey, these are our expectations, because that's when things get cloudy, when there's bad communication and someone's ready to go all the way in and this other person has 1 foot out the door. That's never a good recipe for matchmaking.
What do you think about when guys ghost a girl? Do you think ghosting is ever acceptable? Like, if you say you went on one date, you met on a dating app, you have no other connection in your life with this girl, is ghosting an acceptable form if you just know in your heart, like, this is not my girl, this is never gonna work? Or is it still like a rude thing to do to someone?
See, I think if you go on a date, you could probably be like, hey, I'm not sure this is gonna work out. But if you're just like texting and talking and then you don't ever like meet up in person, I don't think so.
Okay.
I think they get the point.
So you draw the line with like meeting them
spending
time with them. You feel like you owe them that like clarity and being like, hey, sorry, don't see this going anywhere.
Yeah.
Versus just dead silence. Okay, I can agree with that. Can you think of anything else that girls can do or not do? What if a girl's like, at what point do you think it's appropriate to, and all of these are like probably different depending on the situation, but like to bring a girl home to your family?
See, for my family, it could be the first time I meeting you, and it wouldn't, like, there's no difference. Like, if you're meeting me, I don't care if you meet my parents. My family's different in that way, and it's probably different with having all boys, where, like, I think it's easier, I think, for me to bring a girl around my parents than I think it would be for a girl to bring me around their parents. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
it was definitely more intimidating for me to bring Jake around my parents. And actually, Jake was he was actually the first guy like I ever brought around my parents in a romantic way. And I remember being like a little scared. I just think there's a lot more protectiveness around daughters, and of course, like, there's some intimidation. Were you intimidated? Or like nervous?
Not really, because I just figured that, she's a good girl that comes from a good family, so it's easy to connect with you. It'd be easy to connect with them.
Jake is
I heard good things about your parents. Like, it wasn't like they hated me. You know, like if they hated me, then I would be scared. They probably hate me now.
No, my parents were actually like, they're pretty chill. Like, I never had one of those dads that was like, I'll be cleaning out my shotgun when your boyfriend comes over. Like, to me, that's just not a healthy way to raise your child.
Yeah.
But no, we met each other's parents very early. Sometimes, like, I'll hear about people not meeting their fiance's parents until like before the wedding or at the wedding, and I'm just like, how do you do that? Because like,
well, we come from good families, so
we do come from good families,
not
which not everyone
that.
can say that, unfortunately. But families are important. You know, it's really where your partner became who they are, and where they developed like a lot of their habits and ideologies, and so I think it's important. I don't know. I never think it's too early. Like, when Jake was like, I want you to meet my parents, like a couple weeks in, I was so flattered. Like, I was like, really? Are you sure? And he was like, yeah. And so I don't think, if you're comfortable with it, I don't think it's ever too early to meet the Rents.
No. And if it doesn't work out, my parents,
like, they know.
Yeah, they want what's best.
They're just gonna support you, whatever you choose. So,
Are you gonna ask me about being a middle school PE teacher? What's the grind like?
Okay, walk us through your day
Okay.
quickly, because we don't want to hear the tiny nitty-gritty details.
I tell you what, dealing with kids it's awesome. It's so fun. They keep you on your toes because you never know what in the world's gonna happen. But you feel like you are hit by a truck at the end of the day. Like, you get off work and you're like, oh my goodness, I'm so tired. I haven't sat down all day. I've walked 20,000 steps during the school day. And you're like, what in the world is going on? And also you answer about 1 million questions a day, but it's fun. The kids are awesome. They keep it real with me. They make jokes about me, and I like it. They're good.
Yeah, I always say his middle school girls do like the hard work for me, because they're like always there to like give them a little roast, or, you know, keep them humble, where I'm like, okay, girls, like, you got it.
Except they all made fun of my haircut.
He got
a buzz.
It's kind of grown out now, but he got a little short buzz the other day.
And they all made fun of it, and I told them, like, my wife told me to do it, so whatever you gotta do to keep the wife happy.
I feel like Jake's the kind of guy that can pull off a buzz cut. Like, there's buzz cut guys, and then there's not buzz cut guys, and both are good, you know. But if you can pull off one,
but no, if you want to be a middle school teacher, reach out and I'll give you the lowdown on everything we go through. Kids are awesome. Work in a great school district, so makes it easier.
Good. Yeah. He's good at what he does. Like, we were sitting at a place the other night watching the NFL Monday night game, and I swear, like, middle school, specifically boys, will just like find him. Like, they gravitate to his feet. Like, it's so weird. Like, we were at the airport, and he just randomly was like giving a head nod to like a middle school boy that he had. Like, I think they just made eye contact multiple times.
The kid, first time I looked at him, he head nodded me.
Yeah,
like,
the kid head nodded
I was like,
him.
all right, I'll say what's up.
And I'm like, if I was a kid, like, I'm just not head nodding random people. And yeah, at the Monday night game, there was like this group of middle school boys that immediately just like were on top of him, and we're asking him all these questions, and like, he doesn't even like walk around telling people he's a middle school teacher. Like, it literally just happens. And so I told him, I was like, I genuinely think he was made for this job, and it's been really cool to see him grow into that and just like see how much of a natural he is. But we're getting up on time here. It's almost 30 minutes, so we should probably wrap it up. And it's been a little bit of everything, so sorry if it was kind of all over the place. We were kind of last minute on vacation, but we knew we just wanted to get something out for you guys, and we missed Eliana. We wish she was right here between us right now. I know she would have amazing questions for Jake and I. We'll have to do another one where it's like a Q&A with Eliana, where she's just drilling us on things.
Yeah, a little couples
Q&A.
Yeah.
Put us to the test.
Yeah.
But I really just wanted you guys to meet Jake. This is my better half, my life partner, and I'm so proud of him. We've definitely worked through a lot together. We've been through a lot together. So I definitely want to open up more about that on the podcast in future episodes and just share more details of our relationship and our early marriage, because it's, you know, it can be a struggle. It can be hard at times.
Yeah, but it's not bad. Like, marriage is fun. It's pretty.
Marriage is what you make it. Like,
Yeah.
if you put a bunch of fear and restraints on this word marriage, and you're just like, when I'm getting married, I'm gonna lose myself. Like, you have the wrong idea of marriage, and if the person you're with is making you think that, you're with the wrong person, because we truly let each other have so much independence and let each other be ourselves while being like a stronger unit together. And it's just been a fun adventure so far.
Yeah.
So
About 6 months in, so
yeah,
still got a long ways to go.
We'll report back in
a
another
year.
6 months.
Yeah.
But thank you guys for joining us. We're so happy and thankful for all our listeners this Thanksgiving season. We hope you guys have an amazing holiday with your families. And I am Lydia, and this is
Jake. Hey, question for you. Do you put cranberry sauce on your turkey? If you do, I have a problem.
Ooh.
Turkey's plain, or a little gravy. None of this cranberry stuff.
See, I like cranberry on my turkey. If you like cranberry on your
That's
turkey,
a red flag.
DM me, comment on our next post, cranberry team.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. We're gonna
Yeah.
have like a seafood themed Thanksgiving.
I got some
so
crab legs,
I'm really excited about it. But
lobster.
we love you guys. Thank you, and we'll see you next week. Bye. Mwah.